Everyone enjoys a good single-player game with a strong story, especially when you can make your own choices along the way. In this video, I'm going to dive into some underrated single-player open-world games that you might have missed. Let's get started. Yakuza Zero. Yakuza Zero is one of my favorite games of all time. It's got a sensational story, decent combat, immersive world, and deep characters. It has a slow start, but once you meet the main three antagonists, it kickstarts for real. If you're someone who enjoys anime and crime dramas, this is for you. I give it a smooth 9 out of 10. It's rare for a game to be so engaging with so many memorable moments. There are a lot of things to do in the dense world of this game. Even though the map is a little small, it is filled with a damn lot of activities. Toy car race tournaments, rhythm games with karaoke and dancing, cabaret and business management minigames, and secondary missions that can go from saving a girl from a cult or saving a little girl and her family from thugs to straight up teaching a dominatrix how to please her clients. This game has a lot of content in the form of minigames and side quests, and every one of them feels whole. You can see that the devs really put a lot of thought into every aspect of this game. I first played Kingdom Come Deliverance in 2020, about 3 years ago, and I've got to say, this game really tests your patience. It's rooted in realism, meaning things that would take just a few seconds in other RPGs can take much longer in here. It's arguably one of the most realistic game worlds out there. The setting is harsh and brutal. Combat is tricky, but I had a lot of fun with it. This game offers hundreds of hours of content, and I really enjoyed my time with it. Although I must say, it's not a game I can easily recommend to just anyone. It demands a lot of patience from players to learn its world and interact properly with its systems. Now, let's talk about the sound design. It's simply amazing. The sound of moving on different terrains is so distinct that you can almost guide your horse on roads just by listening to the hooves. The combat sounds are particularly impressive. Steel clashing against steel and the thud of blunt weapons feel so real. It's like you can hear the dent forming on your opponent's helmet with each hit. The voice acting is mostly good, though there are a few odd choices in casting. Overall, the main characters are well done in terms of dialogue and performance. At the end of the day, I really liked Kingdom Come Deliverance and would recommend it, but with a note of caution. Make sure you're seasoned with RPGs before diving into this one. Red Faction Guerrilla still holds up as one of the best open-world destruction games. I have nothing to argue here. It's a dumb fun game which lacks in many areas. But these all have the counter-argument that you can destroy things the whole time in a way that hasn't really been matched. I think all the Red Faction games have similar pros and cons. The others are all linear shooters rather than open world. Sometimes I would just run around with a sledgehammer and destroy stuff in different ways to watch it collapse. Even to this day, this game has no other competitors. I've seen about one that had better destruction, but it has zero combat. You can engage in quick gameplay when you have a limited amount of time. The game is basically an open world with main missions and side missions. There is no order that each mission needs to follow. I like how sometimes the objective is not to kill all of the enemies in a particular location, but to create diversions that allow you to get the mission done. Must own game if you love destruction in its physics, decent open world filled with repetitive yet fun activities. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Not sure if it counts, but so many people dismiss it being a great open world cause it's a Ubisoft game, which I do get, and different from past Assassin's Creed games, but it's an incredible showing of Greece. Hours and hours to get immersed, relax, and stab away. Absolutely love the maps. It is bloated, yes, but it's still really fun and has just good feels to it. I can easily say one of the best and most beautiful open-world action RPGs of all times. Just exploring the beauty of Greece. No other Assassin's Creed game has devoured my attention and time as much as this one. While it's not as concise as Mirage, Assassin's Creed 2, or any of the Ezio games, Odyssey still delivers an engaging, visually gorgeous, and overall a fun experience. Story pacing feels a little awkward at times, and will feel rather agonizing to those who don't enjoy the gameplay loop. This is a long game. Took me 80 hours to beat the main story with heavy amounts of side content done, so it's best to take it a little bit at a time if you need to. Soundtrack is dynamic and really memorable. Environment is gorgeous. Absolutely my favorite Assassin's Creed game. Mad Max. This game is criminally underrated. I'm not saying it's a masterpiece, but the world, ambience, and overall feel is great. Games that tie in with films are rarely good, but Mad Max is certainly an exception. The core gameplay loop sees you constantly exploring and engaging in incredibly satisfying vehicular and hand-to-hand combat. Upgrading your car in Max adds a real sense of progression to the game and gives you a reason to wander the wasteland. While the story isn't great, the moment-to-moment gameplay and the stunning scenery are more than enough reasons to pick this game up. It even mocks players for getting into cars the wrong way. This is one of the few open world games where I almost completely ignore the side content, and I was easily able to complete the main story without needing to engage much with the side content, which also made it feel kind of pointless. But note are those awesome sandstorms, coming down like the hand of God to smite you if you can't get to a safe place in time. I loved the adrenaline. However, they are actually also a playable event, and if you're bold, quite survivable, and even useful. Another nice detail, the shape of the terrain actually matters here, just like it would in real life. just cause 3, it is a really cool game. It's like GTA, but set on a beautiful island in the Mediterranean Sea. You can do tons of cool stuff in the game, like blowing stuff up and moving around super smoothly. The graphics are great, and the map is huge and colorful. You can use all kinds of tools like grapples, guns, and even a wingsuit to wreak havoc everywhere. There are also fun challenges you can do, like races and flying challenges. The story isn't the best, but that's okay because the game is more about having fun and causing chaos. One of the best things about the game is the map. It's massive and full of cool places to explore and mess around in. The Just Cause series always has cool ideas, like the grappling hook and parachute. Just Cause 3 added a new wingsuit, which is really fun to use. You can pretty much do whatever you want in the game without worrying about consequences, which is a whole new experience. The map in Just Cause 3 is amazing, stretching from the ocean to the mountains. It's 45 kilometers wide, and there are so many cool things you can do on it, like riding a boat down a mountain. It's wild.
Sistema reiniciado. Deu certo. A turbina está vulnerável agora.
Mafia II is packed with action, and the story is just amazing. I really enjoyed stepping into the 1940s and 1950s era, and the soundtrack adds so much to the atmosphere. The characters in Mafia 1 were good, but in Mafia 2, they're even better. The voice acting is top-notch, and the characters are both interesting and memorable. Sure, some people argue that the game has its flaws, but you can tell they were aiming for something great. The story and world building are fantastic, drawing inspiration from classics like The Goodfellas and The Godfather. Now, I might be a bit biased, but I truly believe this game doesn't get the credit it deserves. In my opinion, Mafia 2 is hands down the best game in the series, and it might just be one of the best open world games ever made. The attention to detail is incredible. You can even go to stores and buy things right off the shelves, way before RDR2 did it. The prices are accurate for the time period, and the story is solid, just like in Mafia 1. If you're into story-driven open-world games, this one's a no-brainer.
Jury's still out on that one, pal. Just making sure you don't slip up, that's all.
Sleeping Dogs is seriously underrated. It deserves way more love. It bugs me how everyone calls crime open-world games GTA clones when they're not all the same. This game is really well done. Once you realize it's mainly about hand-to-hand combat and leveling up your skills, it gets really fun. There's a lot to do if you're a completionist, but it's not overwhelming if you just want to stick to the main story. It's like a GTA-style game, but honestly, I think it's even better than GTA. Plus, it's got RPG elements where you grind to level up your character. The world looks amazing. It feels just like Hong Kong. The story kept me totally hooked. The combat is both fun and challenging, and overall, it's just a fantastic game. If you're a GTA fan and looking for something new to play, definitely give this one a shot. You won't regret it. Days Gone. Days Gone is almost the same like The Last of Us, but with bigger world to explore. I was attracted to the mechanics of riding a bike. The story is a little long, but it was presented well. You can take great pictures of the beautiful open world using photo mode. The bike is controlled very pleasantly even on a keyboard. Its sounds and physics are also commendable. I like post-apocalyptic games, and this one is kind of unique with the whole biker gang theme. In the beginning, your weapons suck, and you'll struggle to deal with small groups of enemies. Eventually, you've got a full collection of guns, darts, and explosive that let you take on hordes of hundreds at a time. There is also a lot of stealth gameplay to take out camps of enemy humans. You also get to customize your bike a decent amount. If you're at all into open world games and zombie apocalypse settings, give it a try. Mafia Definitive Edition is a great game. It's pretty straightforward. You play through different chapters, and you can finish it in about 10 hours. I love this game. It's like The Godfather meets GTA. The city looks amazing and feels alive with history. You've got everything from old school bars and cafes to factories and Chinatown. It's not exactly open world because missions start right after each other, but you still get to explore a lot. If you're into GTA-style missions and shooting, you'll dig this. The gunplay might not be as smooth as GTA, but it's still fun. Plus, there's a free roam mode where you can just wander around the city. Sure, there's not much to do besides exploring, and it would have been cool to have some side missions, but I still had a blast.
Italy reporting they've lost sight. If you see him, let me know. Officers report suspect found. Get on him, please.
All right, stop right where you are. Do not pull that trigger. All right, do not move.
Scum like him.
This guy's safe. You have permission to shoot. Calling all cars. We need more men immediately.
Wait, no!